They called you weak so many times. Eventually, you started whispering it to yourself. I know that feeling. I lived in it. Every time people looked at me, they already had a verdict waiting. Weakest hunter alive, useless, pathetic, a burden that needed protection. They looked at me and saw someone already defeated before the battle even started. That's how it begins. Not with failure, not with pain, not even betrayal. It begins the moment you accept the role the world gives you. The weak one, the side character, the person everyone overlooks because they think they've already measured your limits. And little by little, your spirit starts dying quietly, while the world keeps moving like you never mattered at all. But listen to me carefully. The people laughing at you right now, the people doubting you, the people underestimating you, they're making the same mistake they made with me. They judge power by what they can see. They don't understand what happens inside someone who has suffered long enough. They don't understand what darkness creates. They don't understand what happens when a person loses everything and stops fearing pain. That's where monsters are born. Not in comfort, not in talent, not in praise. In suffering. You think I became strong because I was chosen? No. I became strong because I had no choice. Every dungeon I entered felt like a death sentence. Every mission reminded me how powerless I was. I watched stronger people treat me like I was disposable. I watched fear control my entire life. And eventually, something inside me changed. I got tired of being helpless. That's the moment everything begins. The moment you stop asking life to be easier and start deciding you'll become harder to break. Most people never reach that point. The second life becomes painful. They retreat. They negotiate with suffering. They search for comfort, excuses, distractions, anything to escape the pressure. But pressure is what reveals who you really are. While everyone else was running from pain, I walked directly into it. Again, and again, and again, until fear stopped controlling me. That's the transformation nobody talks about. Real power isn't built when life feels good. It's built when your mind wants to quit, but you force yourself to keep moving anyway. That's what changes you. Not physically, mentally. Once your mind survives enough hell, fear loses its grip on you, and a person without fear becomes dangerous. You want to know why most people stay weak? It's not because they lack talent. It's because they protect their comfort more than their future. They want respect without sacrifice, victory without discipline, strength without suffering. Impossible. You cannot become powerful while holding on to the mindset that keeps you weak. Something inside you has to die. The version of you addicted to excuses, the version waiting for motivation, the version begging for validation from people who don't even respect themselves. That version cannot survive if you truly want power. I learned that in silence, because darkness changes you. People think becoming cold means becoming cruel. They're wrong. Coldness is what happens when disappointment teaches you self-reliance. When betrayal forces you to stop depending on people emotionally. When loneliness stops hurting and starts sharpening you. That's why silence became addictive to me. Because in silence, there's no lies, no fake support, no distractions. Just you, facing the brutal truth about who you are. Most people avoid that truth forever, because the truth is terrifying. You are capable of becoming far more than the person you are today. But reaching that version of yourself requires war, not comfort. War against weakness. War against distraction. War against your own mind every single day. Every hour you waste doubting yourself, someone else is building discipline. Every day you delay your growth, someone else is becoming stronger. And one day you'll look around wondering why life keeps passing you by, without realizing you were the one standing still the entire time. That's why discipline matters more than motivation. Motivation disappears when emotions change. Discipline remains even when you're exhausted, even when you're angry, even when nobody believes in you. I didn't become stronger because I always felt confident. Most days I was terrified. Most days I was exhausted. But I kept moving anyway. That's the difference. Anybody can move forward when they feel inspired, but very few people can continue when everything inside them wants to stop. That's where evolution happens. In the lonely mornings, in the painful repetition, in the invisible work nobody applauds. Everybody wants transformation. Nobody wants the isolation that creates it. But isolation is where weak thoughts die. It's where excuses sound pathetic. It's where you either confront yourself honestly or remain average forever. You want respect? Learn how to function under pressure. You want confidence? Keep promises to yourself consistently. You want power? Learn how to suffer without collapsing emotionally. Because life does not reward fragile minds. The world tests you constantly. Your patience, your discipline, your endurance, your emotional control. And every single time you choose growth over comfort. You evolve in ways people can't immediately see. That's why your pain matters right now. This frustration you feel, this anger, this loneliness, this pressure crushing your chest, good. Use it. Stop trying to escape the fire. Let it forge you into something stronger. I turned weakness into evolution. You can too. But only if you stop running from suffering. Only if you stop waiting for the perfect moment. Only if you finally decide that your future matters more than your comfort. Because eventually there comes a point where talking means nothing anymore. No more motivational speeches. No more fantasies. No more pretending you'll change someday. Just action. Brutal. Consistent. Relentless action. The kind that changes your identity permanently. And understand this clearly. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your friends, not society, not luck. If your life changes, it will happen because you changed. Because one day you finally became tired of your weaker self. One day you finally chose discipline over excuses. One day you stopped needing applause to stay committed. That's when the shift happens. Quietly. You start thinking differently, walking differently, responding differently. Your presence changes, not because you became louder, but because your mind became sharper, colder, focused, like a weapon finally understanding its purpose. And suddenly the same people who ignored you start watching you carefully. Because disciplined people carry pressure with them. You can feel it. The energy of someone who has survived hell and came back stronger instead of bitter. That energy cannot be faked. It's earned. Through sacrifice. Through pain. Through repetition. Through surviving nights that almost destroyed you mentally. That's what creates monsters. Not anger. Control. So, if you're struggling right now, good. This is not your downfall. This is your transformation. The weak version of you is dying. Let it die. Because the person waiting on the other side of discipline, the version of you built through suffering, silence, and relentless self-control, is someone the world will never be able to ignore. And when that day comes, they won't recognize you anymore. Not because your appearance changed, but because you finally learned what happens when a human being stops fearing pain and starts using it as power. And once you reach that level, there's no going back. You start seeing the world differently. You stop reacting emotionally to everything people say. Insults stop affecting you. Doubt stops slowing you down. You realize most people speak from their own limitations, not yours. The weak will always fear disciplined people, because discipline exposes every excuse they hide behind. That's why your growth will make others uncomfortable. Your focus becomes a reminder of everything they refuse to become. You also begin understanding something dangerous. Confidence is not built from compliments. It's built from surviving situations you thought would destroy you. Every painful experience either hardens your mind or weakens it, depending on how you respond. Most people let suffering break their identity. But the moment you start using pain as training instead of punishment, you evolve faster than everyone around you. That's when fear starts disappearing. Because after surviving your darkest moments, ordinary problems no longer feel powerful enough to stop you. There will still be nights where your mind feels heavy, moments where exhaustion whispers that none of this is worth it. I know those moments well, but those are the moments that define everything. Because true discipline is revealed when motivation disappears completely. Can you still move forward when nobody is watching? Can you still fight for your future when results are invisible? Can you still believe in your evolution while the world sees no change yet? That is the difference between temporary ambition and unstoppable transformation. Understand this clearly. Your current self is not your final form. Too many people treat their weakness like it's permanent. It's not. Weakness is trained. Fear is trained. Doubt is trained. But discipline can also be trained. Power can be trained. Mental endurance can be trained. Every day you push beyond your limits, you rewrite your identity little by little, until one day the person you used to be feels unrecognizable. That's real evolution. Slow, painful, silent, but permanent. So from this moment forward, stop asking whether the path is hard. Of course it's hard. That's why most people never reach their potential. Ask yourself something more important instead. Are you willing to become someone greater than your current self? Are you willing to sacrifice comfort for power? Are you willing to endure isolation, pressure, and pain long enough to transform completely? Because if the answer is yes, then keep moving forward no matter how slow the progress feels. Even shadows grow larger when they continue moving toward the light.